My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games that I could experience for the first time all over again. Now, these don't necessarily have to be the best games you ever played. They could be just the games you had the most fun with. However, for this video in particular, okay, I got 2 rules. Just 2 rules. Two rules and 2 rules only. Okay? Those rules are, first one is you are only limited to 1 trilogy or series, okay? You are only able to pick 1. So if any sucker out there is thinking, oh, this chuck gonna be easy work. I'm gonna pick that Metal Gear Solid. I'm gonna pick some Mass Effect. I'm gonna pick some Final Fantasy. No, sucker. Only 1. Okay, you can only pick 1 trilogy or 1 series. Okay, that's the first rule. Second one. And last one is, it can't be no game from this generation. You cannot choose any game from this generation. It has to at least be from PS3, Xbox 360, that Wii U going backwards. Okay, no game from this generation. That means you Witcher 3 fanboys can't come out and be like, oh my god, I easily want to experience the Witcher. No, sucker. You can't choose it, okay? No Witcher 3, no Persona 5, no Uncharted 4, no freaking God of War, no Spider-Man, no Red Dead Redemption 2, nothing, okay? Can't be from this generation. All right? Now, are we all clear on the rules and stipulations for this video? Are there any questions? Going once, going twice. Any questions? No? Then let's start this video. Number 1, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. My freaking god, dude. One of the most fun games I ever played at the time on GameCube. I remember when I got my game. This was even before I had my GameCube. A lot of well, back in the day, my mom was one of those moms like she was nice. I had one of those moms like, you know, when like you like driving in the car and like y'all passing by McDonald's and like, oh mama, can I get some McDonald's? You got some McDonald's money? Like, I had one of those moms, but at the same time, she would eventually cave in and get the stuff that I wanted. So I remember I was pouting. And this is literally how I would get everything. I was pouting around the house for at least like 2 weeks. I was just pouting, crying, wasn't talking to nobody. And she knew what I wanted, and eventually she would cave in and get it, and my sisters would get so mad. They're like, why are you always buying him stuff? And I remember one day she came home from work. I was doing homework. She gave me a brown paper bag. I'm like, the freak is this? And then I opened up the paper bag, and then I seen the GameCube box, and I'm like, then she started smiling. I went freaking crazy, bro. My sister was so salty. My sister was so salty, bro. I'm like, I don't give a freak. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, one of like, when I think GameCube days, that's like one of the first games I think. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is on this list. I would love to experience that game for the first time one more again. Some of these games might catch all suckers by surprise now, okay? Don't get it twisted. Number 2, Condemned Criminal Origins. Back on that Xbox 360. You can also buy it on a Steam now. And I've been dying for them to make another Condemned. My God, I freaking love the first one. The second one, not so much. I just felt like in the second one, they just went too crazy. I'm like, what? Okay, so if you never played Condemned Criminal Origins, let me put you on game real quick, okay? Condemned was pretty much like, I wouldn't call it a survival horror game, but it was like a horror game to where you're a police detective and you're going through these different crime scene investigations trying to figure out like what went down. Meanwhile, violent, coked up drug addicts and serial killers are coming out of the woodworks trying to kill you in the process. I'm actually playing it right now over on my live streams on a Twitch because I enjoyed it so much from back in the day. With every, scary game for like the most part, it's like always, these days, it's with like ghosts, or like infected type zombies, whatever. Like I never really seen a scary game before Condemned like do like a horror game, but it was all with like just people. It was all with just serial killers, freaking crackheads, meth addicts, whatever, but the way they did that jump was actually scary. Number three, Pokemon Gold. Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold. Now, I know they came out with like another one recent. It wasn't too recent, but I know it was a few years ago. They came out with like another Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Gold. No. I'm talking about the classic, the OG, the original Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold on Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. My sister had she had Silver, and freaking, I remember, bro, we used to have the link cable. Y'all suckers don't even know about link cables. Y'all suckers so young and freaking uncultured. Suckers don't even remember link cables, bro. Every weekend, like, we would battle each other. But because she had Lugia and I had Ho-Oh, and I think Lugia had some type of like water attack, stuff like that, and Ho-Oh was like weak against that stuff, somehow it will always come down to her Lugia versus my Ho-Oh, and that junk would piss me off because she would beat me like every time. But I remember one day I got like a Pokemon that twisted it on her ass. Like, she didn't even know I got. What Pokemon was that I got? I got some Pokemon on her, and like I kept it a secret. And like the next time we battled, she was like, "What did she?" And I freaking beat it that time, and I was like, "Yeah." Pokemon Gold for me, that was my favorite Pokemon game of all time. I thought it had the best. Now I know there's so many more Pokemon out there, but I think that had the best roster of Pokemon. Some of the best gym battles. Oh man, bro, link cables with my freaking sister. Tatchup was God tier, bro. Pokemon Gold. Oh, man. Ratchet and Clank going commando. My freaking God. I used to play that game so many. I'm not even exaggerating right now. I think I replayed that game back in the day on PS2 like at least 100. I'm not even. I used to play that game like damn near every day, and I beat the game so many times. But it was so fun with like the weapons, the boss fights, the gameplay. Ratchet and Clank going commando to me is still the best Ratchet and Clank game of all time. Now they've had so many Ratchet and Clank games. Now I still remember playing the first one on PS2, and I was like, what the freak is this? And then that's how I got into like this series. I remember playing the first one. That jump was raw with the freaking Rhino And then they had the Rhino. I think it was 2 in a Going Commando. But in my opinion, as far as all the Ratchet and Clank games that I've played, Going Commando is still the best one. I just felt like games back then, like the replay value was just like at such a god tier level. You literally could just replay the game over and over and over again, knowing what's going to happen, but you didn't care. The game was that fun. And Going Commando is like one of those games that I thought was so fun. I replayed that junk, not even kidding, like over 100 times. I used to play that junk so much. SOCOM 2. I literally can give y'all like a whole lecture on why this on why this game was so important for the PS2, why this game was so important for like the future of online gaming. SOCOM 2. If I could experience that jump for the first time over again, my God, bro. That game, the single player wasn't that bad neither, but let me like build up to this, okay? So I remember before I got, because you needed a broadband to play SOCOM online. Back in those days, it was still, most households had dial-up. You had to like kind of convince your parents, like, hey, can we like get off of dial-up, because I'm tired of like when I'm playing a game online and then like the phone rings, like I lose connection. Like you literally had to tell your parents, please don't get on the phone while I'm playing games. Bro, that chunk is crazy how far we've come. So I finally convinced my mom to get fast access DSL. Okay, so boom, we got it. As far as the overall best online experience that I've had in my entire history of playing games, it is still SOCOM 2. When you would get when you got a headset at that time, and like when you would like talk to people and be like, yo, you hear me? Like, yo, yeah, I hear you. Are you actually a real person? Like, it was crazy to think you was actually talking to someone on like in like a different state and they could hear you, you know. So, but I remember getting introduced to clan battles. People online, you have to remember, people online back in those days were actually nice. Like, of course, yeah, you like yeah, you would run into like, you know, people being toxic, like, oh, shut up, nigga. You like you would still get that, but it's nowhere near how it is today. Most people, I'd say like 90% of the people you ran into were actually nice, and like they would actually try to talk to you, and y'all would become friends and add each other to your friends list. I remember getting introduced to clan battles, clan wars. They had clan wars on like Thursday night and oh my God, bro, we will never reach that as far as that online experience ever again, bro. I remember that. I remember one of the clans I used to hang out with. I still remember their name. It was called Fat Mob. If any Fat Mob SOCOM member is watching this video, I am the Hunter 23. That's who I am. That's who I am, bro. I remember I got introduced to them, Fat Mob. And it was like old, and it was older people in that clan. Like the bosses of that clan were like all in like their freaking like mid-30s going up, you know. But they were so cool. They took the game so seriously. Like they were like our like we looked up to them. Like we really looked up to these freaking like leaders of the clans. I remember the Fat Mob clan. And then I was in there, and bro, I can tell y'all a whole story. I was in their clan for a while, and like, we never, like, really had no, like, you know, disagreement or nothing like that. But I always wanted my own clan, so then I, like, left their clan. And, like, if you wanted to leave the clan, you legit had to, like, well, at least the way that they had, you know, their whole clan set up. You had to, like, have a meeting with, like, one of, you know, the leaders or, like, sub-leaders. Bro, this joke was so organized. Bro, we will never reach that pinnacle of online again. Ever. That's why when I tell people, if y'all have not played SOCOM 2 online back in the day, you missed out on like a whole different world. Just the online experience was completely different. SOCOM 2, I literally have stories on like how much fun I had playing that game. But SOCOM 2, if I could experience that for the first time again, oh my God. BioShock 1. BioShock 1, that's still probably my favorite BioShock game out of the series. 2 wasn't bad. It just, and I know a lot of the people say like 2 was trash. 2 wasn't trash. It wasn't 1. 2 just was not 1. The one that just captured the best atmosphere of BioShock, the gameplay, everything, the first BioShock. When you first entered Rapture, I remember me and my friends being blown away by just how the water looked in that game. I was like, yo, do you see this water? He's like, yeah, bro, this is crazy. It was like one of those games where it was like scary at some times, but then it wasn't really like a scary game, but at times it was scary. Like when you first enter Rapture and like when you would get all like the powers and stuff like that. The gameplay of BioShock 1, I just think that's still my favorite BioShock. I liked Infinite, but I felt like Infinite, you know, it was just too bright. Like you was out like outside and it was all sunny and I'm like, what the frick is this? This ain't Rapture. BioShock 1 still my favorite BioShock out of the series. I would love to see another BioShock, maybe BioShock 4 next gen. Maybe, because I don't think we're getting it this gen. I would love to see another